Hello, hello, hello. Are y'all ready to start the show? Yes, we we gonna start the second half of the NFL variety show. It's Friday night, and let's party tonight. Well, we gonna get started right after this. We ain't done yet. No, we're not. We still got a lot more games to go. We're gonna be 3-0 right now, and we're about to try to make it 4-0 against the Cardinals. Well, you know, people are still in no border sports, but here I go. Coming in all the way from Daly City, California, my brother, John J. The dope rhymer.
What's up, Corey? Welcome.
Hey.
Part 2.
Yeah. And then now, coming over, coming in from Corona, California, my brother, David Corona.
What's up, Corey? How ya? What's up, John Jay?
What's up?
Let's see, 49er minded.
Bashar.
What's up,
Sure.
Bashar?
What's
Yep.
up?
Yep. How's your day, Corey?
Oh, it's okay. It didn't go so good.
Did you get your medicine yet?
Nope.
Damn, man, that sucks.
And
Um. Okay, Corey. When did you meet Hufunga? I met him is right after my birthday. My nephew bought me tickets to the 49 game to San Diego. Not San Diego. I'm always doing that. LA Chargers game. And so he bought me tickets, and then my cousin went with us. He played football with El Cerrito High School, and he knew Aaron Banks. So he called Aaron Banks, and he asked Aaron Banks, I have my cousin here, his birthday, and can you hook us up? And he said, yeah, y'all come back to go where almost to the locker room, but we were standing outside where the players walk out. And then so I'm gonna walk my way, and I stopped him, and I said, "Fun, can I get a picture?" He said, "Yes." He shook my hand, and we took pictures.
You should ask him for autograph.
Well, I didn't have no pen. I don't think he had a pen on him, and they
Yeah,
say they don't really like giving out autographs more. So
yeah. Why they don't like signing autographs?
I couldn't explain that more. I think it's they're afraid you might. I don't know. Don't have me get. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Because they don't want to.
I think it's some kind of rule.
Uh, that sucks.
Coming in. Oh, this this man. I met him. He and John Jay at Berkeley Cafe M. We was together with Brian Cup, Niner Sickness, and Here he is, all the way from Utah. David
McNiner.
McNiner.
What's up, buddy? Speaking of, I still haven't. So I was doing the measurements on the wall behind me, and I can't fit both the flags. So I'm gonna
Dang.
have to. I'm gonna have to figure it out. You know, it's kind of like I might just have to have the flag that's currently up hanging in the doorway a little bit. You know, that doorway right there, and put the
Yeah.
other one up, and then move all the little stuff over here, like down below them, like around that area.
Why? How wide is the flag?
It's the same size as this one,
Oh, okay.
and it's actually the flag Corey. He gave me the one Corey has up on his wall right there.
Oh, hell yeah.
True.
I don't know. I was
But
trying to
yeah.
look for a 49ers chain, but they
Yep.
always sold out. I went to the mall today looking for it and nothing.
Yeah. I remember when I was in Levi's when I met Tom Grassi. There was this dude. He said, "I'm the Debo chain guy," because he had the Debo chain around his neck, and he's on my video with the Tom Grassi, and he was like making fun of all the other fans with that. Oh, I'm the Debo chain guy. So
Hell yeah.
that was funny. And then I walked in the store and I went to the Debo chain. And I'm like, oh, this is a toy. It's so it's so light. So because I was wondering like how he can, yeah, it's a toy chain that they sell at the stadium.
I need to get me a flag.
Yep. Speaking of my flag, my uncle, his family stopped by, and I gave it to him because he has no 49er stuff. He said, "Oh, John, where'd you get it?" And I told him I met this guy in Berkeley. He makes flags and stuff. And then I showed him his channel, and then my family subscribed to Niner Sickness. He said, "Oh man, he gave this to you." So like he's so happy. He likes the colors because it's kind of like the Mexican flag.
Yeah, like the
Oh,
one
yeah.
Corey has up.
Yep. So he was so happy. He said, "Thanks, John, and tell your friend thank you." So I said, "So when I see Beto again, I'm gonna tell him that story."
Hell yeah.
I'm not.
Where's
I'm
Brian?
not.
Where's Brian at? I saw he was on the first half. I watched it a little bit. I didn't comment or anything, but I watched it.
Mhm.
A little bit of it.
He's probably taking a little break.
Yeah.
I
So
can't blame him. He's got the family to take care of.
So before everybody hops back in, Corona, you better
Yes,
not
sir.
lose. You better not lose the bet to that guy, that dude again.
I'm not gonna lose.
Yeah, because
What
you don't want to owe
what
him
bet
money.
we talking about?
I made it. I made a $50 bet against Christmas on Baltimore.
With CEO.
CEO thinks the Niners gonna win against us, and Brock Purdy's not the
Oh.
guy, and he doesn't play good.
Yeah, yeah. In the future, yeah, don't bet with them because you know.
Why he doesn't pay or what?
You don't. No, I'm saying you don't want to owe him money because
I'm not worrying about it.
So he's not a bad guy. I'm just saying, I'm just letting you know, like certain people from YTC's friends do not bet. Just
What's
Yeah.
up, Bob Jones?
so heads up.
I'm not scared of them.
Well, you know, we'll see what happens. It's at San Francisco, right?
Oh, it is.
Isn't it? I thought it was.
I don't know.
Yep.
Let me look at the schedule. Hold on.
So
And so that last time we played Baltimore, it was at Baltimore,
mhm.
Yeah,
and it was a tough fought game. I believe it was 2019, wasn't it?
it was
Yeah,
rainy too. It was rainy too.
And if you remember the first touchdown pass, like Jimmy, threaded that ball within two defenders, and you got to give Debo his props. He jumped up and got that ball, and he fell in the end zone. Like like for me, like I wished, like for Jimmy, like he's gone now. I don't care, but if he would have made more throws like that when he was with the Niners, I think less people would have not criticized him, but that was a good throw. If like anybody remember, I was watching that game. I said, how did Jimmy get that ball between those two defenders to Debo? I was like, man, that was a great throw.
It's a Monday night game.
The game's at is at Levi's because somebody that I know bought tickets and they're gonna go to that game.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, I'm probably going to that game too.
Yep.
I need to go on. I need to go on Niner game before I die.
But like I said, David Corona, you need to wait for the game come
Yeah.
before you make your bets.
Mhm.
Yeah,
'Cause you never know what team situation might be at
right.
that point.
Yeah, that's way far away. I wouldn't be like personally. I wouldn't be betting on it till probably the week before, and I knew the status of most of the players and everything going in.
Yeah,
But at the same time, it's at San Francisco, not at Baltimore.
Mhm.
I picked it as a loss when we were doing the streams earlier,
Yeah.
but at the same time, who knows? You know.
Mhm.
I also
Me-
picked the Cleveland Browns and the Seattle Seahawks, the Thanksgiving game. Those are the three losses I picked.
when somebody talks shit about the Niners and they said they're garbage and all that, and he said he wants to bet me, so I said, all right, let's do it. How much?
Well,
Do we
again,
not have?
Yeah.
We don't have
Coming
him
in.
on Twitter. He's not in the Twitter group.
Coming
I
in,
don't-
my brother, David Muse, Brian Cook.
What up, Brian?
Hey,
Brian,
David.
Brian.
what's up?
I'll send Jason the Twitter link, and we'll get
Okay.
Jason in the group here soon.
So I get all cocky and I said, all right, let's put your money where your mouth is,
Mhm.
So that's how I get when somebody talks shit about our Niners. So
Well, those guys don't like the Niners. That's why you shouldn't take too offense to it. Because again, I've known them for a while. Sometimes they're really nice, but then they go and they talk about stuff that's a little bit rude and disrespectful. So that's why don't
Happy
yeah,
Friday,
don't
Daniel,
bet with those guys.
Jerry,
I'm just
Sports
giving you the heads
Highlight.
up.
all right, cool, John Jay. And he said Brock Purdy before he got injured, he can't make a long pass. All he does is 5 yards here, and Debo or Ayuk or McCaffrey, and they get like 20 or 30 yards.
Yeah,
That's what he said.
Again, he doesn't like the
Let me-
Niners. He hates the team.
I know.
Talking, so don't worry. Just let him talk. Let him do
All right.
whatever he
Okay,
wants.
let me bring in. Coming in, my brother, all the way from Washington, Jason Messi.
What's up, man?
What's up, bro?
How's it going, brothers?
What's
Hey.
up?
Good.
Doing good, man.
But
Thank
hey,
you.
hey, Corona, the Bashar
Yes, sir.
shout out to 49er Miner made an excellent point. Dude, why don't you buy some tickets to SoFi and go to the Rams 49ers game?
I know, but
You
they
can
always
be
double
part of the Sea of Red, man.
I know, but they doubled the charge, and my sister-in-law said they're like $120 parking.
$120 to park your car?
Yep.
That's the Rams for you.
I'll probably go
Well,
there.
that's
I'll
'cause
probably
they-
go there.
they-
I'll
they
probably go there
know.
next year.
They know that 70% of the fans are going to be Niners, so they try to,
Oh yeah.
get
That's
everything
why
they can.
let's raise the parking price.
Well, you remember their draft party? The lights went out, so
Yes, they
they got to pay their bills somehow.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I try to go again next year.
So I got a question for those who have been to a game at Levi's. Is it expensive to park your car at the parking lot at Levi's?
Bryant, I believe Bryant is capable of answering this.
Mhm.
Okay.
What's the question?
So David Corona just said that it's like $100 and something to park your
Wait a
car.
minute, John Jay. Let me bring another guy in. Coming in, he lives in Seattle. He be fighting them enemies off. My brother. No border sports.
What
Okay, go ahead, Brian.
But,
What up, buddy?
So
How is it?
how much does it actually cost to park your car at Levi's?
It varies, and it really I can't give you a like this is the for sure price. If you're a season ticket holder, I'm sure you get discounts. But when I went as in the preseason, it was like around $50, or it was $40, and then when I looked to see how much it was going to be for the home opener against the Giants, it was $140, and I'm like, whoa! So how far do you want to walk? Because I've purchased tickets before, and it was like $40 for parking, but it was about a 2 mile walk. So I like being close to the stadium. It just makes me, you don't drink. I understand that. I like to have a beverage or two, and I want to be close to the stadium, and I want to be able to barbecue, and I want to see all the other people. And it's really neat when you are walking with the other people from the other tailgate groups and stuff. You see a bunch of people, and we're all like, we're walking up as an army. It's really awesome. But I want to be close to the stadium, because when it's close for me to get into the stadium, I want to get into it. It was really awesome. Me, David, Tony, we were all standing there. Before people were allowed in the stadium. And what happened, David? It was a rush. It was literally people running through the gates. And like why? Because they're going to the concessions, they're going to the museum, they're going here and there. We went walking around just to several different locations, and the team store packed, the museum packed, concessions packed. So it's like get in while you can get in, and enjoy it. So the tailgating, if you don't want to spend $20 for a beer, or that much maybe for a soda, drink it up in the parking lot. Go in, have a couple of dollars to get you something to eat when you are in the stadium, but make sure you have a nice like tri-tip out there in the parking lot, or something. If you guys haven't been to the Red Zone rally at Great America, it's I think the prices are about $80. I could be confused. I could be wrong, but it's about $80. You get to eat as much as you want and drink as much as you want before the game. So you can go over to Great America parking lot, go right in the admissions. You go over, they have a band, they have games. It's like kind of a mini festival. You can ride the roller coaster. You can sit inside. Again, drink as much as you want to drink. When drinks are $20 a pop, you drink 2 or 3 of those for $80. That's kind of worth your admission. And then they have tri-tip shrimp. They have, all kinds of vegetables, salads. It's just an amazing
Sounds
experience.
amazing.
So, Jason, when we went in there, they had like the shrimp cocktail, on ice. Yeah. So I'm like, oh wow, this is really cool. My wife doesn't eat shrimp like that, but I got a bunch on my plate, and they have corn, and like if you ever had the
Are you
Mexican
bragging
corn.
about something, Bryant?
If you need to go to the game, definitely go to the Red Zone rally. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Oh, Tony doesn't like eating little shrimps. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
No, but
He likes big crawfish.
they had a bunch of tri-tip inside. You go outside, they have a bunch of hamburgers and hot dogs and all kinds of games and stuff. So Great America is right now is currently tuned up for 49ers, and they have their own little pregame party. So if you don't want to like actually go there and spend, you can still spend a lot of money but be really happy or satisfied with the amount of money you're spending. So yeah, I mean, like Levi's is great. I wasn't really sold on their fries, but I don't think anybody's sold on stadium fries. So it is what it is.
Up here we got the garlic fries up here in Seattle. These are pretty damn good.
Ours tasted like they were refried and sat there for a little while. So David can contest to that later. But the French fries weren't. We were the first in the stadium, and I think I got old French fries. So
the French fries when they're fresh are probably good, but those
Mhm.
were like cooked probably half an hour before they were handed to us. I got the chicken strips, and they were good. And literally, while we were eating, we were standing down. You know, we were around the concession stands, and that's when we saw the gates open and saw everyone like mobbing in. It was kind of nuts, you know. That's the same spot that we saw Sam Darnold's family, his dad, mom, I think girlfriend or wife, and little brother walk by. Yep.
Mhm. Yep.
But
The
Okay.
garlic fries from the that brand, the Gilroy garlic fries.
Gilroy?
That stuff is really good. Since I've been going to sports events, I always make sure to give me those fries, those garlic fries.
Yeah, garlic fries are legit.
You know,
Well,
especially the
if
brand.
if they don't have Parmesan or parsley with it, I that you're missing out. If you're just doing granulated garlic, like you're at the Everett Aqua Sox, and they just throw in the granulated garlic on top of French fries, it's all right, but it's not something to go to the park for. You can do it at home.
Mhm.
Is anyone in the fried crickets?
I think I've had them. Usually anything crispy, if you put a little garlic on it, I won't give a damn.
You don't notice, yeah.
you know, I've never had fried crickets. I've had rattlesnake, but I've never had fried crickets.
The story, the rattlesnake.
I
So
had
rattlesnake
hey,
tastes
I
like
had
five
plant
that
different
was
based
pieces of chicken, right? Or 5 different animals.
yep, tastes like chicken. Texture
Everything.
I had
too.
plant-based jerky one time and I was getting down with that.
Ooh.
Living in Japan, I'm terrified to know exactly what I've eaten sometimes.
Yeah.
I heard they actually like cook and eat puffer fish, which is poisonous. So you got to have a good
Yeah,
chef
I've
that
had
knows
it.
what
There's
section.
it numbs your lips.
In
You have to
fact,
get
the
a
chef
the
has
right
to,
chef to do it. Yes, the chef has to be good.
and
Mhm.
they I believe they have to try the dish first. I think.
Yeah.
I'm not.
But if you get the right one, it's not bad. You
Yep.
just got to make sure it's the right one.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
don't
just
think
trust
Jason's ever
anybody.
heard. Jason,
Go
you've
looking
never heard
for a
my
Michelin
rattlesnake.
star.
Oh,
No, I
So
haven't.
yeah, when I was young, I was in Boy Scouts, and we had this. The Scout Master was similar to that guy in dodgeball. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. You know, you want to learn how to swim? Oh, here,
Oh, that
you
John
know
Wayne clip.
that was my Scoutmaster. So, and we were on a long hike in Escalante in Utah, which if you look on Google Maps, you'll be able to kind of see the area. And we literally hiked in with 50-pound packs, and we weren't. You know, I was 12, so I was probably 110 pounds maybe at that point. You know, but we hiked in. Literally, it was a 6-day hike all the way around, you know. And there were rattlesnakes everywhere. I mean, we were walking like we were hiking at night, and because you know the moon was out and there was lots of light to set up camp, so we were hiking at night, and the rattlesnakes were everywhere. Next thing I know, my scoutmaster came up with one, chopped its head off, which probably traumatized a couple of them. Not me though. You know, I was just like, yep. You know, I've been with the guy for years, so the new kids that were used to him probably were a little traumatized. But you know, and then he's like, "This is good eating. You guys are about to find out." So he literally gutted it, filleted it, cooked it up on the fire, and we ate.
Good.
Probably tasted good.
It did. It has
You
the
guys,
same texture, and it tastes like chicken. It really does.
you guys put any like sauce on it?
No, we didn't have any sauce, buddy. We were
Mhm.
like, we were in the middle of the desert.
Do you know about backpack camping? Like you got to bring everything you live off of in a backpack. So hot
Yeah.
sauce, The only time anybody's bringing a hot sauce is like one of them little Tapatio bottles you find in like an MRE.
Yeah.
That's the only sauce anybody's bringing.
I've never been camping, so
Yeah,
What?
me too.
I've never been camping in my life.
I've been camping. I don't know how many
Oh
times.
my gosh.
I have a funny story. So it is nighttime. We're supposed to be sleeping, and the camp is right next to like a river, and there's a little boats. There's a little community, and we're walking on the deck, and we find a fish on the pier, and one of the kids wants the fish so badly. I don't know why, but they told me to hold for me to hold it. Oh, I don't want to touch the fish. I'm scared, so I'm holding the fish, and I don't know what type of fish it is, but it's big. So then we start running because they thought they saw a crocodile. So I'm running with this fish, and I accidentally tripped on the deck, and it fell into the water. And I was like, crap, I dropped the fish, but I forgot when a fish is dead, it floats. So I put my hand in there, picked it up. He said, oh, why'd you drop my fish? So now I learned when a dead fish, it floats. So that was a fun story.
Okay. So we play Arizona this Sunday. Is the Arizona quarterback, is he a rookie, or how many years he been in the
He's
NFL?
been around.
He's a 12-year vet.
He's a 12-year vet?
No, I don't know. I'm talking out my ass.
Oh, okay.
I think he got drafted in 2018,
Okay.
something like that.
So there's film out there on him. Because that's what worries me. Sometimes when you get these quarterbacks as new and there ain't no film on them, and they come in, they play real good.
Especially with the new coaching staff, because I don't think we've seen everything from them so far.
They say Arizona's tanking, but it don't look like they're tanking. What they've been playing. So what you guys think? Do you think Arizona's tanking, or they just the fans think that? John Jay.
Well, before the season started, I had the Cardinals at the bottom of the division, but they've been playing really well. Like I'm not saying that they're gonna go to the playoffs or have a winning record, but they're competing. Like they're going to be that team where like they look at the schedule. Oh, we're going to win, and then it's going to be like a tough victory for the opponents they play. I still think we're going to beat the Cardinals, but I don't think it's going to be like a giant blowout because again, like Dobbs, when he was with the Pittsburgh Steelers and he was the quarterback when Roethlisberger was hurt, he played really well with the Steelers, but the Steelers had really good players around them. So, but I saw him run for like a touchdown, like a 20-yard touchdown against the Giants, and then he did the same thing to the Cowboys. So he can run the football. But besides all of that, like they don't have too many playmakers. Their defense is not the same defense as they were in the previous year. So, like, I still think the Niners are going to win, but I think it's going to be a very tight game.
David Midniner,
Yo,
what you think?
sorry, what was the question?
What you think about the 49ers Arizona game? Do you think they tanking this year, or is it the team?
I honestly don't think they're tanking. I think their coach believes in Kyler Murray, and his Call of Duty skills. But I honestly don't think they're tanking, because there's a lot of talk about teams tanking for that quarterback. And how many number one picks of, or even top five picks quarterback wise have worked out, So that's not even a guaranteed thing. But when it comes to what I think of the game, I never count the red chickens out. They're always pesky. Even if they suck, they step up against us. We're their Super Bowl, and I honestly believe they're going to play us as tough as they can. How long they can hang with us, I believe that's the question.
Ain't no more sports.
Is it still, are the Cardinals tanking? Is that the question?
Yeah, think they tanking, or
Part of
do you think?
Their fans want them to tank, but what the team is doing is showing that they're not trying to tank whatsoever. They're not, they're still 1 and 2, you know what I mean? But it's, who knows? They might end up being a 500 team this year. I don't think so, but who knows?
Jason, do you think how you feel the 49ers game versus Cardinals gonna go?
I don't think they're tanking. I think their coach is not going to let them tank, but I do think that Kyler Murray's not part of his long-term plans. As far as the game goes, I think I predicted 35-21. I'm kind of hoping that we jump out to an early lead, and those 21 points come more at the end when there's backups and everything. Time doesn't matter. So I'm or points doesn't matter, I should say. And that, if you go by just talent alone, there's no comparison between these two teams. We should easily win this game, but it's also the NFL, so you do have to show up and play. So,
Brian, what do you think about the 49ers and Cardinals game?
I think the Cardinals are a better football team than they want us to know they are. I think they are sneaky good. I think they want to lose, but they want to beat every team up, if that makes sense. They want to go to the end of the game. They want that other team to really, really fight for that win. But I think at the end of the day, they kind of plan to lose. So I think that makes them very unpredictable because they're not afraid to take. I'm not saying they're a dirty team, but they're not afraid to do things in a game because they have no repercussions from it. They're not planning on going to the playoffs this year. And I think they're planning on gelling as a team. I don't think they're sold on Kyler Murray. I think they're moving forward. This could be a game that we could sleep on. The Cardinals, even in past history, they've beat us. They've beat us handedly. They have taken out George Kittle. They have done things to us, and it's just been ugly. But I think this game, we go into the game and we play healthy. We play smart, regardless of Debo or Ayuk or Jennings is there. I think we have enough of a running game, and George Kittle has a passing game. Ronnie Bell there to be able to catch things. Our defense is top notch, and I think we could really put a hurting on this team.
Okay. Yeah. A little bit. I'm a little worried going against Arizona this Sunday. A little bit, not all the way, but a little bit, because sometimes the 49ers don't play the Cardinals real good. When we think we supposed to win, we supposed to beat this team, we don't. And I'm kind of a little afraid of that, but I think we're gonna win, but it's a little worried that we could lose. because I didn't expect them to beat the Cowboys. I picked the Cowboys to beat them, and they won. And then they almost beat the Giants. And that's kind of scared me, though, about them. Okay, how do y'all think beating when Miami beat Denver 70-0? Do you think Miami's the real deal, or this right now running hot, or Denver just a sorry team? What you think, John Jay? Okay, John Jay must be muted.
Oh, my bad. I was talking and then you said, "Oh, I'm muted." Miami has a really good offense. Like Waddle, Tyreek Hill are really good wide receivers. Tua can throw the ball down the field, so he can throw the football. Uh, McDaniels and the run game, the same thing that the Niners do, but he's doing it with less, like lesser running back talent. The Broncos, they're supposed to have a good defense, and I don't know what happened to their defense. So I'm not surprised that Miami put 70 points on the Broncos. Like the Broncos offense looks worse with Sean Payton, which is kind of funny. So I just think the Broncos are not a good team. I think they might finish at the bottom of that division. So and that says a lot about what's going on with Denver. Like last year, I kind of was like, I see some dark days with Denver. I was just like being sarcastic, but what they've been doing the last couple of weeks, they are not playing good football. So, of course, when you're playing Miami, which has a really good offense, that's going to happen. So, I'm not saying Miami's a bad team. Miami should be a team that should be taken seriously in their division and in the rest of their conference.
Yeah, David McNiner.
I honestly, I don't think it's a fluke. When it comes down to it, it's the Broncos defense isn't as good as everyone thought. And Tyreek Hill, I mean, let's be honest here, he's a top 5 player. And they do have Waddle, but I honestly think he was out that game. I think they did that without him. But when it comes to speed, we all remember Mostert's fast. He runs like 23 miles an hour or something like that. And I remember something about Tyreek Hill and him were the fastest 2 players in the league at one point, but they're both on the same team. And Denver they stink. You trade all that for a system quarterback, Russell Wilson, and you're not getting the return that you expected.
No more sports.
So I don't think they're the real deal, but I don't think it was necessarily a fluke. Like, I just don't see them putting 70 up on anybody else the rest of this year. But I could see them putting up a 50 burger. And they're very talented. Or as far as some of the players they got on their team, they're very talented with some of the people they got. But is that enough in all the positions for you to be able to stay with a real team? I don't think they got it in the long run. So I'm not really worried about them being a contender this year.
Talking about Denver or Miami?
Miami. I'm not talking about Denver, and Denver's not. There's nothing to talk about. That's a shit show. That's a dumpster fire.
What's up, David and Lee?
He's
Jason.
the Ewok of the NFL. Actually,
He's
he's more
just
like
an Ewok in
Han
jail.
Solo. He's more like Han Solo. Oh, he's
Don't
stroking his own
disrespect
Wookiee.
Han like that.
Han was always stroking his own Wookiee.
I think Miami's actually legit. I mean, I see their offense being what our offense would look like, full speed. And what I mean by that is, JT O'Sullivan broke it down. That if you look at how their wide receivers go in motion every play, like they do a lot of that where they're just running towards the sideline motion. Their receivers or whoever in general is in motion is running that motion at like 100 miles an hour. Whereas, say we have Debo, for example, who runs that. He runs it at like 10 miles an hour. So those guys are it's just the same style of offense, just run at a speed that I don't know if we can compete with. Like, in overall speed, like power, we could probably beat them in the offense, but in overall speed, I don't think we can. It's hard to keep up with Miami. Was it a fluke? Yes and no. I don't think they'll blow somebody out like that again.
Right.
But at the same time, Denver is just a terrible team. And to put up 70 on a team that was supposed to be, the defense was their strength on that team, it's just like, what the hell? And before people keep thinking it, we're not getting Surtain. Sorry, they're not making that trade for anybody.
Okay. Yeah. I think Miami won't put up that kind of score again. I think it's just Denver sucks.
That they do.
Boy, did y'all see we have another Roberts Bowl next Thursday?
Yeah, who's playing?
I know it's Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears in Washington.
Ooh, Washington is gonna spank them.
Yep. I'm sorry. Like, now, first of all, I don't know what's happening on Sunday with the Bears versus Denver, but hypothetically, if the Bears lose to Denver, then they go on a short week. I don't know when the Bears are going to win their first game again. I don't know, because McNiner and Corey and myself, we have a mutual friend who's a Bears fan, and he continues to say that they're going to still win 13 games, which, at this point, he is so delusional on his team. But like Justin Fields has regressed. I got that all 22. Shout out to NFL Plus. If you sign up with their $14 package, you get the all 22. But yeah, Justin Fields has not been throwing the football really well, and he has weapons. So I don't know what's going on with that situation, but like Corey said, that's another trash bowl.
I'm like, man, go out and do the highlights of that game next Thursday. Not looking forward to watching that game.
Well, I'm still going to watch it. It's football.
I'm still going to watch it, but it's like, that looks like it's going to be a boring Thursday game. How did y'all feel about Green Bay and Detroit game last night, John Jay?
Well, I'm 1-0 in the pick'ems, so I was happy that the Packers lost. So Detroit versus everybody.
David Meniner, did you get to see Thursday night game?
I didn't. I didn't, but Denver pretty much. I know they went up big, like early,
Detroit mean
and
you said
it was
Denver.
kind. Oh, Denver. Well, Detroit. Well, you know, trash is trash. You know, they're all in the same can. But Detroit, you know, that they did. They got up big early, and you know, at the first after the first quarter, I was going, "Wow." You know, like I picked Green Bay. Oh well. You know, then Green. It looked like Green Bay was coming back. But then Denver like walked down late and scored the touchdown that just sealed the deal. So it's like, you know, what can you do?
Well,
Or
you still got
Denver. I
Denver in
said
your mind.
Denver again. I meant
Yeah.
Detroit. I meant Detroit. But like I said, they're all in the same can. You know.
Damian Lee says Ryan then was wrong. I meant has solo in Fort Worth, Texas. Russell Wilson couldn't crazy his jacked
Oh,
up jockstrap.
wow. Damn. That's funny. Shout out Damian Lee.
Yeah, excuse me. No border sports. Yeah. What you think about the game last night? You muted, can't hear you.
I watched a little bit of it, but it was already such a blowout, kind of, and not. It just I seen they started coming back a little bit at the end, but it was way too little, too late.
Mhm.
I go Lions. They got to beat the Green Bay Packers at home, first time in what 30 years. Shout out to them.
Oh, somebody disappeared. Oh, Jason there. I was just about to ask him. He disappeared. Um, yeah. I was laying. I didn't see most of the game till after halftime because I was laying in bed. I wasn't feeling so good. I was laying in bed and then I raised my bed up where I could see the game, and I was like, "Oh, Green Bay's trying to make a comeback. They're trying to come back in the second half." But then Detroit said, "Nope, you're not coming back."
Mm-hmm.
And they was just kept on winning.
Well, the play that they got the touchdown, there was a delay of game that the referee screwed up, and that's why they got that touchdown. But that was a delay of game. I got that Amazon Prime. I was watching the game. I was like, "Oh, what are you doing, refs?"
Jason's
But
trying to reconnect. He said.
oh,
Um, let me see what else. So is my 49ers going 4-0 this week? John Jay, is my 49ers going 4-0?
I think so. I do think we're going to beat the Cardinals. I don't think it's going to be like a wide score. Uh, After like thinking it through, like from Wednesday when we did the pick'ems, I think the Niners are going to probably score like at least 31 points, at least maybe 34 at the most. And I think the Cardinals will, put up a good fight. Maybe they'll put 21 points at the most for them. So that's still a 2-score advantage, but I don't think it's going to be like like a 3 or 4, score lead like a lot of people have been saying. But winning by 2 scores is still a really good feat.
Um, who is Remelia? That's Rudy.
Hmm.
Jason, that's Rudy. He's a Ram fan. Yes.
Wow.
No boy's
So,
supposed to be going 4-0.
Yeah. I know this is supposed to be our trap game, but it's not going to happen.
David Maniner.
I think we're gonna win. You know, this is one of those games that won't give a score prediction, but you know, I think we'll score 30 or more points. That might be safe to say at this point. I don't see them scoring more than, you know, 15-ish, but that might be if they get lucky. I mean, the Josh Dobbs guy, I just don't. You know, I think he's overachieving at this point because the league don't know what to expect out of him. They haven't seen much of him. Which, you know, there was a lot of saying that going floating around with Brock Purdy. Oh, the league's got tape. They're gonna know what to do. Guess yeah. What are you guys talking about? But at this point, we got a couple games on the guy.
Mhm.
You know, we got a couple games to study. That's all our defense needs. And as long as we stay disciplined, do what we do, he ain't doing anything.
Yeah. You see, YTC lost some his on his Giants. He even picked Seattle to win to beat the Giants on Monday night.
Oh, he's lost faith.
Hmm.
Yep.
I told
Where are they
him.
playing?
They played in Seattle.
Well,
Oh, okay.
that's gonna be the
That's
same
a
thing.
safe pick. That's
That's
a
gonna be
safe
the
pick. I picked him.
Uh, even TRL, he says the 49ers is going to be his team.
Hmm. Well, because he's a smart Cardinals fan. He always has low expectations for his team.
Hey, dude, John Jay, you remember David Renteria, the Cardinals fan?
David Renteria. I heard the name
When
before.
when they were actually doing good a few years back with Kingsbury,
Yep.
and you know, they had like a early season win streak going on, and I remember this guy. He was like all up in 49ers chats. Oh, we own you guys. Easy sweep. This. We're making the play. I saw him say we're going to the Super Bowl. I saw him say that a couple times, and
Oh,
then
now I remember. He's the guy who had
so
the Bugs Bunny picture as a
yes,
profile.
yes. And so, you know, it's next season, and I see him and I think it was an NFC West, you know, that channel, which I guess they're not doing anymore.
Yeah.
But you know, I saw them. I saw him in that chat, and I'm like, hey, where'd you go, man? You know, because he always disappeared after the Cardinals lost.
Mhm.
And then I was like, remember, I thought your team was winning the Super Bowl last year. He's like, I never said that. I'm like, yeah, you did, like a few times.
Yeah, that guy was also rude. Now I remember. He had a picture of the Bugs Bunny, and he was talking a lot of some choice words, to say the least.
Yep.
But I remember him. Yeah, he would just curse out people for no reason at all.
Yeah, well, he's totally disappeared. You
Yep.
know, like I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him at all in I think it was the beginning of last season is when I saw him, and then he's gone. Like, if his team ever gets good, he'll probably be back, but who knows when that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
No more sports. Do you have any question to ask?
I don't know. Geez, you kind of. Give me a couple seconds and I'll have one.
Okay. What about you, David Midnighter? Do you have any questions?
So, well, I have one that I don't know if anyone's going to be able to answer. Who's going to be the best player on the Cardinals offense? Or the Red Chickens, my bad. Offense.
I would have to say they're running back.
Connor?
Connor, that's the only person I know on that team now.
They got Hollywood Brown.
Oh, yeah, they do got Hollywood Brown. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about him. But I've been, every time I hear, when they show highlights, I see Connor. I'm hearing his name more. What you think, John Jay?
Let's see. Who do I think is going to be the Cardinals' number one offensive playmaker? I'm still going to go with Dobbs. Like, he has one interception. I think he has like 5 touchdowns thrown. He has a rushing. Actually, I think he has 2 rushing touchdowns. 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns. Again, like, he's not as bad as most people say. Like, when he was he was drafted, I think in the 5th or 6th round by the Steelers, I think like 4 years ago. And like the guy can play. The guy can play. So again, like Hollywood Brown, like I forget sometimes he's 5'8". He's a good receiver, but he's not as tall as most receivers. I think they got Rondell Moore. He's also another slot receiver, another 5'8" guy. But again, they don't have Hopkins anymore. Like, so they're very limited at the wide receivers. I think the Niners are going to slow down the run game when it comes to Connor, because Connor's been putting up the numbers. Like, I didn't know that they were averaging 150 plus rushing yards. Now, again, they did play the Commanders, they did play the Giants, and they did play the Cowboys. So the Niners defense is way better than those 3 teams. So Dobbs probably has to pick up the load, and he has to, because again, I don't know who else. I don't know who their tight ends are. Like, they're like a weird transitional phase right now, the Cardinals. So I'm gonna still pick Dobbs.
No more sports. If you're saying something, we can't hear you. Mute it.
Sorry, I'm actually going to go with Connor, because if he can get the run game going, then Dobbs will be more deadly. I don't think we're going to stifle him. We could, but I don't know. I kind of feel like he's going to be the key to any success of theirs. Because if he's not running the ball, they're one-dimensional. That's not good for them.
So Evo asks, can anybody explain Bosa non-captain and has no sacks? Well, Bosa do have 1 sack.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe he came in too late. We picked as captain. I don't know. Anybody else can answer that question?
I believe we picked captains before he was signed back to the team or extended. So maybe that had something to do with it. And obviously he's already got a sacks, but I'm guessing you're talking about his slow production. And he's the most double teamed person in the league.
I
When-
saw him getting triple teamed quite a few times
Mhm.
so far this season. And he wasn't like in the building when they voted for captains, so that's why he's not a team captain. Yeah, I know that. I think they announced the captains like right around the time they signed him. But when they did the vote, he just wasn't around. So, hard to vote for a guy that ain't in the building, But yeah, Bosa did get a
I'll
sack.
get back on my phone here then.
Yeah, he did. He did get a sack. And he broke that streak of games with no sacks. He broke that. So, now he's through the preseason because we're going into game 4, and he should be back to being himself. Hargrave, shout out to him, though, 2 sacks, right?
Mhm.
Drake
Good
Jackson
investment.
has 3. Yeah.
Like when it comes to Nick Bosa, like being the captain,
Fucking
I think I'm probably I don't know if I'm the only one.
Out.
I don't know if I'm the only one who does not care about captains. Like congratulations, if someone has that letter C on their chest, good for them, they deserve it. So maybe I'm just like I personally do not care about the captains. I want that Lombardi. I think the Lombardi trophy is probably what the 53 players on the Niners want, and those who are captains, like they deserve it. So we know Bosa's a good player. Like I don't know what the captain is gonna do to Nick Bosa. We already know who he is. And at the end of the day, he has his sack. He sacked Daniel Jones, and he said something which I want to do another check mark on a video. Preseason matters, and Nick Bosa says, like, I'm finally getting my football shape. He said that. He told the reporters, I don't know how many, I'm finally more comfortable on the field. Because he said in the first couple of games, even though he did his job, he didn't have a good feeling, playing the first couple of games. So that's why, training camp, preseason matters, not the way most people think, but you got to get the football shape. Like if you've ever been an athlete, like you can't go back on a live action, like if you haven't played for like 6 months, or if you've never worked out for a long time, your body is so sore. That's why once you start working out again and playing, again, then you get more easier. And so as a former athlete myself, like being like gone for 6 months and not playing, yeah, you're not at the same, level of playing football or sports in general. That's my take.
Okay. John Jay, do you have any questions you want to ask?
Ooh, questions to ask. Let's see. So, what kind of questions should I ask? All right. So Sunday, we're playing the Arizona Cardinals. If the Niners get an interception or multiple interceptions, who would be the player that would get the first interception? Anyone can answer it.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say Fred Warner.
He's been there so many times these last
Yeah.
couple weeks. I'll go Hufanga.
I'm going to go Tayshaun Gibson.
Yeah, I'm going Fred Warner because he been getting close. The ball is in his hand, but he just can't seem to get a grip of it. I think this time he's gonna get a grip on it. Okay. Uh, besides the 49er game this week, who, what team are you looking forward to see playing this week? John Jay.
Let's see. All right. So Thursday night was the Packers and Lions. Let's see what game this week. Let's see. I don't know if I can wake up at 6:30 to watch the London game. I might watch the second half. I'm actually very curious about the Bears and the Broncos game because I've never been invested on a team that I really do not care. But when a team is like supposed to win 13 games, I am invested in that game. And then I don't know if the Broncos can bounce back. So like, even though like no one cares about that game, I do because I want to see who's going to win the game and are the Bears really awful. Anyway, I'm going to be respectful and just pick that game.
David Mayniner.
The Bears and the Broncos. Well, I picked the Broncos because I think the Bears are the worser of the two really bad teams. And on top of that, it's kind of like, how long is Sean Payton gonna put up with this? You know, how long did he lose his, mojo after leaving the Saints? That's gonna be my next question. But I honestly think the Broncos kind of have something, and they have something to prove because they got spanked. They got beat bad, set on fire, and then thrown off a cliff all at the same time. That was bad. 70 points, but they have something to prove, and they have something to prove against the Chicago Bears, so they're going to prove it.
No Border Sports.
I don't. What's the question again?
Besides the 49ers game, what other game are you looking forward to see this week?
I don't think there's another game I really care about. There was so many coin flips, and everybody else who's playing is like, actually, I think the only other game I really cared about was the Detroit Lions and Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
Well, I guess, who are the Seahawks playing? The Seahawks are playing the Giants. So that might be the next, because I want to see where the Seahawks measure up against the Giants.
Yeah.
But other than that, really, I don't care. It's not any of the, this is going to be a good game. You know what I mean? There's, I guess Dolphins and Patriots could be another good one. Who knows what goes on with that? But don't we all expect or is it, no, it's Dolphins and Bills.
Yeah.
Dolphins and Bills.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, Seattle is I want to see how the Seattle match up with the Giants. Giants mess up Seattle. That's a Monday night game. Also, I'm interested in the Buffalo and Miami game. How's Miami going to compare with Buffalo? How's Buffalo going to compare with Miami? So No more sports. Have you thought of your question yet?
No.
Okay.
It's um we kind of talked everything 49ers earlier.
Mm-hmm.
NFL question. What we haven't talked about in the NFL.
Are the Jets done? Is it
I think
put a
so.
fork in them?
I think the Jets are done. Randy Daytona, what's up?
What's up, Randy?
Dallas lost
Lost more
depth
depth today.
today.
Wow.
I thought you left. I don't know why you're still here.
Who?
Steve-O.
Maybe you just can't sleep.
That happens sometimes. I got to be up in the morning, and then I'm laying in my bed, and I'm like, why can I not fall asleep? And then like at 1:30 or 1:45 or just before 2 a.m., I pass out, and then I wake up just before 8 o'clock, and I'm not tired for some reason. Makes no sense.
Devin Harper was released. Didn't cheat. Didn't
Waivers.
what? Waivers.
Yeah.
Ooh, Debo didn't practice all week.
Yeah, he's listed as questionable. So
Without Brandon Ayuk and Debo, do y'all think the 49ers could beat Cardinals?
yep, I do. I again, the Cardinals are going to play, the football that they've been playing, but they're playing they're playing a really good defense. So, like the Giants' defense, like they gave up 20 points in the first half, but somehow the Giants came back. I still don't know how that happened. And then the Cowboys, who were like, we have a great defense. Dak has not been playing well. I'm sorry for any Cowboys fans who's gonna find this, angry at this comment, but he's not been playing good. Like, how do you play so bad against the Cardinals? So that speaks a lot about the Dallas Cowboys. I think they may be like, one of these lucky teams that start strong, and then, like I've always said, the Cowboys are like a roller coaster. They have a good year, and then they're 8-8. Good year, 8-8. So, but the Niners defense is going to do really well, even if Ronnie Bell is our number 2 and Brandon Ayuk is the number 1. Conley is going to be suiting up. Ray's going to be suiting up. Even with those wide receivers, I think we could still do really well. That's just my thoughts.
David McNiner?
What? I honestly think we could beat them. Without Ayuk and Jennings, as long as the other wide receivers are in there. But I'm looking at the injury report right now, and Brandon Ayuk full practice, unspecified. He's a go.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter, and Juwan Jennings though, shin.
Yeah, he's gonna be
did
out.
not practice all week. He's in the same boat as Lebo, but no, he's doubtful.
Yeah, he's doubtful, so he's probably not going to play. Debo, again, is a 50-50. So, like, hypothetically, like I said, Ayuk number 1, Ronnie Bell number 2, Ray McLeod, and Conley. Even with those guys, even with just one quality wide receiver, Ronnie Bell did really well against the Giants. Now, we'll see what he's going to be able to do. But Debo Samuel said something that I was a little bit shocked that he said. But Debo said, he says he believes Ronnie Bell is going to have a good game in when he was talking in the media. And I don't know if that's Debo just being nice to Ronnie Bell, but that says a lot when a veteran receiver is saying to a young guy he could have a good game.
I'm still looking at the injury report. Take a wild guess which running back is on it.
Oh,
Just wild stab at it, guys. Come on.
Oh man,
Mitchell.
Listed as knee, and it doesn't. And I see it. A whole bunch of did not practices.
Yes, man. I went on a little rant. Well, it wasn't a rant. It was a little like a polite rant. But I'm like, come on, man. I think his time is up. Like he either needs a new starter. Maybe his body's not meant for football. Like some players are not meant for football. Like they had really great college careers, but in the NFL it's a different game. And unfortunately, like football's cruel. Like that's the reason why I make fun of Heisman Trophy winners. Heisman trophies, like very rare, they have great careers, and even if they do have good careers, they're not in the Hall of Fame. So it's the same thing. There have been a lot of great players in college that have never transitioned to the NFL.
And the man has 11 carries and he injures his knee. Come on, bro.
That's what happened last year when we played the Bears. Like after one quarter, and then the next day, he's out for like 8 weeks.
So, jeez, are y'all glad that we didn't, or y'all was hoping we signed Jason Verrett?
We have 53 guys on the roster, and we'd have to cut someone to bring him on. And he's a big, I think him and Elijah Mitchell are both like question marks. Like, will they actually play? How long will they last? So I'm glad we didn't sign him. If they want to sign him to the practice squad, that's fine, but just don't add him to the 53 unless you're that desperate, which why would I honestly think Diamador and Lenore is playing good. So is, Travaris Ward and the Oliver's starting to come around. So I don't see why we actually need him.
Yeah. I think Jason Verrett should just call it quits. He should retire.
Yeah.
True.
I don't think he should
I don't
stay
wanna-
on.
I don't want to see him get injured again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Now-
gonna hurt my heart.
Now,
You know what I mean?
Now, I do have a question, about the running backs situation. Like Kyle Shanahan's first running back he drafted was someone called Joe Williams, and he got cut. Didn't like we drafted him, I think in the 5th round, and we cut him. I was listening to a podcast where they had someone who was like an executive on a team where Kyle was on as a coordinator. And he was saying that when it comes to running backs, like you go back to his dad and even him, like the running backs that he gets are like short term. Like Terrell Davis, like barely lasted like 6 years and then he was done. And Clinton Portis, who was with his dad, was a good, and then he goes to Washington and he's never the same player. when Kyle was with Kyle Shanahan, drafted Morris. I forgot his name. As a rookie, he had like 318 carries, 1,500, but he was never the same player ever again. So like, does Kyle like overwork his running backs? That's why we could never have a healthy running back. So I don't know what your thoughts about that, situation.
Yeah, running backs don't last that long. A lot of running backs don't last something wrong in Kyle Shanahan's. Actually, they all get hurt. And Elijah Mitchell, I just don't know about him. I like the dude, but he's always out. Play 1, 2, 3 games, and boom, he's out.
Well, you guys remember 2019 when we went with the three-headed monster. We had Raheem Mostert, Tevin Coleman, and Matt Breida. And that seemed to work out pretty good. But, Elijah Mitchell, he can't stay healthy enough to even make it a two-headed monster.
Excuse me.
I mean, I was hearing stuff about TDP and his speed. And I was like, oh, okay, he's got speed. But then he's inactive, like every Sunday, inactive. So, hard to use a guy's speed when he's actually not even on the active roster.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There you go. I found the running back when Kyle and his dad were in with the Commanders. Alfred Morris, as a rookie, had 1,600 rushing yards and 13 touchdowns. The following year, he only rushed 1,200 yards, and then in his third year, only 1,074 yards. After that, he basically was not the same running back, and he came to the 49ers in 2018, which was a bad year, and he didn't do nothing with us. So basically, like, that's the reason why I'm asking this question, because that's a good example right here where he had a healthy running back, but year after year, he started the decline. And then in 2015, he averaged like Alfred Morris, 3.7 yards, over 200 carries, 751 yards, and 1 touchdown. So that's something that I've always like wondered why, even in 2019, why we had those. Matt Breida was the starter, then he got hurt. Then Coleman, then he got hurt, and then Raheem Mostert, who stayed healthy at the end of the year in the playoffs. So yeah, I just don't understand why our running backs get hurt, because I don't think Elijah Mitchell, when he was in that small Louisiana school, ever had serious injuries. So
Coming back in, my man Brian Cup. Come on.
Well, Matt Breida fumbled a lot. That's why he got taken out of the starting lineup. Kyle couldn't trust him. That's why Carlos Hyde didn't continue on the 49ers, because he couldn't catch or hold on to the ball. You guys remember that pass that they threw to Carlos Hyde and he dropped it in the end zone? And they looked over at Kyle with the camera, and
Excuse me.
that was it. Kyle shook his head and it was over. Alfred Morris was a good running back, but he was a little bit pressed his time when we got him. Just like you said, kind of banged up a little bit too much. But Kyle trusts his guys. When he gets somebody he likes, he'll go to the grave with them. That's why it's like with Tevin Coleman, it's like every year it seems like we bring him back because Kyle trusts him. And the ability might not be there, but he still has the mental capacity, So
Brian, you're back. What question do you have for the panel?
Well, with Ayuk being, limited, they say he should play this week. Debo's probably questionable. He's not going to be playing. Sounds like I have him on my fantasy, so he's questionable. Juwan's questionable. So if Ayuk does play, we have Jenny. Well, Jennings is out. We have Ray, and we have Ronnie Bell, and I think Ronnie would be like number 2, Ray, number 3. Who would you guys think would step up a little bit more, or who would have the better game? I think we kind of touched this question last episode, on Ryan's show. I think it's Ronnie Bell because they're just a little bit more comfortable with him right now. I guess the real question is are we going to see Danny Gray this season?
I think so, but he's out for 6 weeks, right?
He's out still, huh?
He has to be on IR for at least 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
And then they can open his practice window.
And Bell might have essentially already taken his spot by then and moved him down another peg.
Yeah, Bell's good.
We seen it in preseason. He was running around making plays. Everybody was throwing to him because they trusted him. So the consensus is real on Ronnie Bell, whether the league sees it or not. Every single quarterback knew where Ronnie Bell was. And if it was any sort of duress, they were throwing it his way.
I actually like Ronnie Bell. I don't know when we'll see Danny Gray, hopefully before midseason. But at this point, Brian's got Debo on his fantasy, but don't you have Ronnie Bell on the bench?
Yeah, so I have 2 teams, and I have Ronnie Bell, and I have Debo, and I have Ayuk. They're not all on the same team, but I do have Ronnie Bell on the bench, and I have Jake Bobo on the bench.
Okay,
yeah.
Randy
Hey,
asked,
this next week. Okay, hold on.
You know who went off for me? I had the Green Bay Packers defense. They got me like 49 points. I don't know how they got me 49 points in the league. And then Justin Reed, I think it's Justin Reed for the Packers. He got me 10 points. So I already got like 59 points in one league. And because Justin Reed was available in my other league, I picked him up as a wide receiver because I needed somebody. So I picked him up. And I started him on both teams. I got 10 points. So, hey, 10's better than a 0.
Sweet. All right, Corey, you want to read that question?
Does anyone agree with me? I think the Rams are really looking for a
Bell cow.
because Stafford is starting to get very sore from all the throwing. Anyone?
Arm fatigue. Here we go. That's what he had last year.
Damn.
What
He's the best quarterback. He's sorry.
It's so I'm sure they moved away from their running game about 3 years ago to win a Super Bowl, 4 years ago, win a Super Bowl. And they haven't gone back yet. And them thinking about something like that, let's just say mid-season, because we're during the season, but right now, if you didn't think about that before the start of the season, you're really screwed. So what are you going to do? You're going to give away draft capital to go get a running back, then have to pay them when you just spent all this time cutting all this money? Your chance was to draft a good one this year and you didn't. So if that's the situation, they screwed themselves.
They traded away Cam Akers, but after that injury he had, and then he like tried rushing himself back. This is, I believe, for the Super Bowl run. He was injured that season. I think it was a major, wasn't it an ACL? But either way, he rushed himself back, and he was back for the playoffs, but he did not look the same, and he hasn't looked the same ever since that injury. But yeah, I honestly think that the Rams should be looking for a bell cow running back, because Matthew Stafford's arm's going to fall off, and Kelly's going to be complaining. Yep, she'll blame it on some 49er for hitting him.
Well, they ruined Todd Gurley because Todd Gurley, when McVay got there, he started to overwork him. The year where he had like 20 plus touchdowns and 4 receiving touchdowns, like Todd Gurley in the last 2 seasons, like, was getting knee fatigue, because when he got drafted, I remember I knew where I was where he got drafted. I was driving down San Bruno, heading towards the BART station of that city, and the announcers on the radio said, the Rams are taking a big gamble. This Georgia running back, Todd Gurley, had injury concerns entering the draft. After his time with the Rams, he was never the same player. And then at the age of 26 or 27, retired. And Todd Gurley said, my knees were messed up. And even McVay was like, wait a second, I overworked this kid. So I don't know. Maybe that's why he moved away in throwing the football, because he's like, I don't want to do what I did to Todd Gurley. If now he wants a bell cow, hopefully he learned from the Todd Gurley situation. So
and that's a fact, Randy. Their whole season hinges on Matthew Stafford and his arm, and it staying healthy. And with his elbow and neck issues last year, he's not getting younger. So,
Yeah. Let's see. I can't think of any other question.
Did you see the aliens that went to the Mexican Parliament or Mexican Senate? Supposedly
What?
the Mexican like army doctor, they did MRIs, and he's like, "Yep, checks out. Nothing to see here. Those are aliens." He says they're all from the same the skeletons are complete, and that they all go into each other perfectly fine. And then like NASA was like, okay, make samples ready. We'll check it out. So it doesn't sound like they're very I don't believe them, because supposedly there's been tests done on them before. He says Mexico won't share the samples, though. It's not actually Mexico that has to share the samples. It would be the doctor, or I think he's a doctor. He's a doctor who's like an alien theorist or whatever.
Okay, Brian, I asked this question.
And
I asked this question. What, besides the 49ers game, what other game are you looking forward to playing this week? Other game team you want to see?
I usually like watching the Packers, and I like watching the Raiders, but the Packers already played. The Raiders, they play what, the Chargers, I think?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd say that game. I'm probably interested to watch that game. Maybe Jimmy G doesn't throw an interception. We'll see.
Is Jimmy playing? I heard he was injured.
Yeah, he might get benched too. That's what I heard because he's playing so bad. So
Mm-hmm.
he's injured. That's so funny. That's classic Jimmy.
Mhm.
He might actually win.
I'll be listening to the Raiders YouTubers, and I'll be in the chat sometimes. I go in there and say, "Oh, aren't y'all happy with Jimmy G? Because the 49ers are happy that y'all got him."
That's the Raiders for you. Again, like I don't say this to throw shade at the Raiders, but like they invested the money that they invested to get Jimmy Garoppolo. Uh, Josh McDaniels like moved away from Carr to get Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy has not been playing good football. And again, it's not nothing personal to Raider fans because one of my best friends, who I consider like an older brother, is a Raider fan. And I'm like, you should have kept Carr, but it is what it is. And imagine if their rookie O'Connell, who was from Purdue, decent school that no one knows, and does better than Jimmy. That says a lot about the Raiders.
Okay, to update the Mexico Congress thing, they look like ET.
Like miniature ones. These things are like
Yeah,
they're like 18 inches. They're like 18 inches tall, maybe 2 foot. They look like they almost look like hoodoo, like when they make the dolls, like the that you can stab with a pen whenever you call them dolls. They look like those things, like really,
yeah, they're
really
not
tacky
very
voodoo
big,
dolls.
but the head, and the face structure look like ET. Off the old school
Yeah.
movie.
I don't think those things are real, but who knows?
I don't know.
And I want aliens to be real. So don't get me wrong at all. I'm just saying that they still, I'm not willing to
So
go out on a limb on that.
So our good friend TRL, he's a Cardinals fan. He likes Kyler Murray. I think he's one of the few supporters. And last year when we went to Mexico, he was talking about, how when our team touchdowns there, like our team is going to disappear. A little funny joke. And I said, all right, TRL, let me tell you a story. This is a thing in Mexico. There's a thing called enano, which means, a small type of thing. And it's a story they tell their kids. It's like a 2-foot creature that hides in the dark and they pull children away. And I said this as a joke. Kyler Murray, may look like a kid, those enanos, because he was talking smack. So I told him that story, and he's like, "Oh, screw you, John." But it's a thing that's like, apparently it's a real thing there. There's a small little type of creature that takes kids at night. So that's what they believe out there in that part of the world.
Do you know what Germany does on Christmas?
Yeah, what's that thing's called?
Frau Persta, and so I can't remember the dude's name, but there's like
they did a movie
there's
about
a scary looking Santa Claus and a scary looking Mrs. Claus, and they just terrorize the kids. And if you look up some of the pictures, it's amazing. The kids look like they are going to shit themselves. The parents, they put soot on their face. It's for some reason, like in that area of Europe, like Santa Claus is a black man or something, that it's something with soot on their face.
What's up, Rising Rhino?
Oh, Rising Rhino's back, huh? I sent
What's
you
up,
that.
Rising?
I emailed you that image. Yeah, that Frau Persta. Those kids are freaking freaked out. Lollipop killed. Oh, jeez. Oompa Loompas. Oh, man.
Mm-hmm. So what I was taught in uh 1800 European history in my high school, in Bavaria, which is technically Germany,
Bavaria.
there was a myth about like a werewolf creature that came out during the winter's, time, so around December, and it was like a opposite of Santa Claus. I'm trying to figure out what it was, but that is like the anti Christmas, and there are people that believe that that's what Christmas is. It's not the commercialized guy in the red suit. So they still believe it. So I'm trying to figure out what it is, but they did a movie. It's like a weird looking like a wolf with horns. So yeah.
I can see it. Bryant looks like he's about to pass out.
I was just thinking, like there's a lot of good games coming up. Really excited about them.
You sound like you're about to pass out.
No, I'm just chilling. John was talking about some weird Christmas stuff and trying to, the closest thing I could think of is there's the HBO Max TV show, and it was who was it? Oh, it was they just came out with a TV show. It was a DC. It had oh my gosh! Now I'm gonna have to Google it to think. Go ask Lily what the name of the TV show. But it got really, really raunchy there, and it was really cool. But they ended up a TV series. But there was a goat-like, deer-like, werewolf kind of creature with horns, and that's why I'm bringing it up. And it was just like, whoa.
Hellboy?
No, it wasn't Hellboy. I'm trying to. Give me 1 second. I'll go ask Tony and Lily. They'll know the name.
One
I'll be right-
1,000.
Right.
Randy was asking if it was John Cena.
Yeah. One of my coworkers, she's into Halloween and scary stuff, and she was talking about that movie, which is like she says is the anti-Christmas. It's a horror Christmas movie. That's the only reason why I'm trying to see what it's called. Yeah, but that's a real myth. Like in Bavaria, which is basically what Germany is. They believe in
Bavaria.
Doom Patrol. Okay, so Doom Patrol is a comic book. Like they're kind of like you're superheroes. Well, they take care of like all the weirdness. They have their own, like every superhero has their own legends and their own demons that they have to vanquish. Everybody, if you go and like try to like write down a calendar year and see how many times the world has come to the brink of annihilation, it's kind of crazy. But all these superheroes, Superman has these glorious, trophy victories. Well, Doom Patrol, they might have to go and fight like a bunch of nasty looking zombie butts, or something nasty like that. Like if you watch the TV show, you'll know what I'm talking about.
So they're like the plumbers of the heroes.
Yeah,
you gotta touch all the shit.
Yeah, so like they have the robot man who's played by Brendan Fraser, and he's really funny. You don't see Brendan Fraser, but you hear his voice. And they have a character named Jane, and she's got like 49 different personalities, so she's always like changing character, so you don't know what craziness you're going to be dealing with. And it's just a really kind of wild, off the wall TV show, but they are that superhero cast that you're like, whoa, they're the misfits of the superhero bunch. So when he was talking about that, the professor. He had some weird native relationship that happened in some cave, and there was some kind of god or some kind of weird creature that was chasing him with the horns. And that, when again John was describing that I would wonder if John was watching that TV show, because that's what I
shout out to Randy. Krampus. There's that thing. Krampus.
If you got a god with horns chasing you, it's time to change your religion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't think that was working out too well.
Krampus.
It was a cool TV series to begin with, but they did, they jumped the shark at one point, but
yeah, Krampus. Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, I was cleaning out a unit the other day, and I come across a bunch of little treasures, and I was able to bring home some trading cards, and I was going through them. I found a lot of Warren Moon cards, Drew Bledsoe cards, a lot of Steve McNair cards. The guy liked the Giants a lot, whoever lived there, and they're all like in really good condition. So I'm gonna try to put them all in the right, put them all in the right rows and stuff, and see if I can put them online, because I don't like those teams. I like this team. I like this one.
You all right, Corey?
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, a lot of them were like putting cards and stuff like that, and cases, and I'm like, hey, cool. The best one is I got this picture. I got this picture over here, right behind there, and it's actually a picture of a card. Well, now I own the card.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that was a poster of the Topps cards, and now I got. So I'm like, yeah, that's super cool.
That's tight.
And it's because the person moved out, left all their stuff, and hey, okay, cool, let's go. I got to go clean it out. Either way, it's either gonna go in the trash or I'm keeping it. So I got some Dodger cards. Shout out to David Corona. Those are going in the trash.
No. We should rip them up live on stream first.
I got a Dodgers baseball. I let my dog chew it up already. No,
yes.
No.
Now, if you could get all the other dogs to pee on it, like the whole neighborhood,
just
make sure it really soaks into that leather.
Oh, check this out.
Excuse me.
Hey, Corey, getting the gas out one way or another.
Yeah. So I'm not a big baseball guy. I like the Giants, but I'm not a big baseball guy. But this is pretty cool. It's an official baseball.
Oh.
In a case, completely sealed. I don't know how much it's worth, but it's yeah, I'm like, okay, cool. I'll keep that. I'll put it on my shelf. Hey, one man's trash is another man's, like, I don't know, treasure. So I'm just gonna keep on trucking.
Is that an MLB ball?
Yes, an official MLB ball in a package.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got the 2002 National League champions, San Francisco Giants. It's a little league baseball with the signatures of all the players. I got the Japanese player who was there for one season. I don't know how to pronounce his name. of course, I got Barry Bonds to sign it because he doesn't at that time he didn't sign autographs. I got Sean Dunston, Jeff Kent, JT Snow, Rich Aurelia, David Bell, Marvin Bernard, Benito Santiago, who was a catcher, Levon Hernandez, Felix Rodriguez, those guys.
I like the Giants. They went through a stage in their career, in their history, where they did have like that steroids issue. Maybe it would have been like looked over, or maybe it would have been even more brought to light. We lost the championship game against the Angels in 2002. We should have won that. But then after that, we didn't win a championship until like the odd years, going into 2009 or 2011 or something like that. So that was kind of cool to be able to rip off 3 or 4 of them in a row. But that's why you play the game. And right now, the way the ownership is and stuff like that, it's really hard for the Giants to put a winning team out there. But oh, hey, shout out to you, Ryan, the realest of us all. I found some supersonic cards, so I'll make sure I mail them out to you.
Raphael.
Oh, heck yeah.
El
What's
Capitan,
up?
mi amigo.
What's up, Raphael? I haven't seen you for a while, but good coming through, dude.
Hey, Raphael. I know I don't talk to you as much. Hope your grandpa is all right.
Raphael, your avatar looks like you got a haircut. You must have got your ears lowered. Looking clean. So how do you what do you have to say about your Jimmy G, bro? I mean, other than him being Jimmy GQ, is the Raiders gonna bench him? Your thoughts in the comments.
And if you want to
He's
come
only
on,
on.
the link is
Yeah,
in
he's
the
only
chat.
on pace to throw 34 interceptions. No biggie. Yeah.
I don't see him lasting the season at this point. There's been speculation and rumors that we might try to get Devontae Adams, or Devontae Adams might ask us to sign him. I'd take him. We got the money to pay for him. Let's take him. But do we need him? We don't really need him, but I want him.
Yeah.
You know what they say? It's nice to want, but do you need him? Do we need Devontae Adams to go to the Super Bowl?
No.
Would he take a team-friendly deal to come here? No, if he leaves, Oakland or Las Vegas, whatever, he's going to try to ask for another bag. And I don't think we could afford him. But if we was to get Adams, does that mean we could move off of Ayuk? Or is that like our transitioning point? It's a late night. What's your thoughts?
I don't think so.
I like Ayuk better than Devontae.
Yep, me too. What I was just thinking about, goodness gracious Christ. I was just thinking about something and I can't get it back in my mind. What was it about? Oh Lord, I can't think of what it's about.
What are the Cardinals going to do on Sunday?
They're gonna lose.
Great show, everybody. Good stuff. I'm going to leave now. Got to go see everybody tomorrow. Thanks for having me on, Corey. Thanks for having me on No Borders on your show. Good night, everybody.
Peace
Good
out.
night.
All right.
Good night, John Jay.
Oh boy. You know what?
Corey's gonna call it.
Yeah. 'Cause I'm tired. I can't think of anything to say.
Good,
So,
man.
David McNiner, what's your plans for the week?
Well, this weekend, you got the Brian Colt Coffee Talk show tomorrow, and I think it's scheduled for early. It says 8 my time, which would probably be 7 your guys's. Then watch some football on Sunday. Can't wait for that. You live streaming any games this weekend, Corey?
Yeah, I'm planning on doing the Niners game.
Sweet.
Bryant, you muted.
Yeah, I'm gonna go probably about 7 o'clock in the morning, and maybe give it a good show. Not give it a good show, but try to give it a good run. Maybe go for maybe an hour or two, see how everything goes. I have a really good show planned for tomorrow. It's gonna be about the Cardinals, so looking forward to that. And yeah, if you're gonna go live on Sunday, that might be a lot of fun. Can't be there the whole time, but definitely like to jump in and scream and yell, "Go Niners!" Just yeah, everybody keep your notifications on, like and subscribe to everyone here, and thank you, Corey.
No border sports.
Well, you'll catch me sometimes this weekend somewhere. I'm guessing I'll be around. I'll probably be streaming on Sunday, and then Tuesday, obviously, have regular shows. The whole week starts over again. But yeah,
Yep. So that's my plan. Stream Sunday game. Hopefully I will be up for Brian's coffee show. If I'm not, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
'Cause
no worries.
I've been
We'll
having a
probably
hard all this week. I've been having a hard time sleeping, and a lot of times I get to sleep right at 6 o'clock a.m. I finally fall asleep.
And Corey and Ryan, anybody else, if you can't make it right on time, that's the beauty of the show. There's always room to come in later. It breaks up sometimes the whatever, sometimes it changes the direction of the show. But yeah, we're gonna try to shoot for that early time. But Corey, you're always welcome. And the most important thing, get some sleep. If you can't sleep, well, come on in and we'll talk. Maybe my words will put you to sleep.
Yeah, and I have a 9:20 phone appointment with my doctor. Well, not with my urgent care doctor. I think I'm gonna be changing primary doctors because my primary doctor, she's never hard to get appointments with her. She's never there. She sent a message. Oh, she's out of office. Damn, I might be trying to move away from her. Try to find a doctor that's always there. Excuse me. Because I mostly don't talk to her. I talk to more to my kidney doctor, my heart doctor, and my cancer doctors more than I talk to her. Well, I'd like to thank everybody that come in. I'd like to thank David Corona, David McNiner, John Jay, No Border Sports, Bryant, and I'd like to thank all the people in the chat, Randy Daytona, Bebop Jones, right? Rising Rhino, Raphael. Anybody else I'm missing? Steve-O.
Niner
Anybody else?
Jess,
Niner Jess.
Bashara,
Bashar, yep.
Damian Lee,
Damian Lee. Oh, and Jason Massey.
Daniel Berry Sports,
Daniel Berry Sports, yep. So I'd like to thank everybody for coming in and for your support.
David Corona.
David Corona, yep.
All Access Sports Podcast Network. Thank you for showing up. Please like and subscribe to the channel.
I'll get that off. Thank you, Bebop. So, any words before I put the music on?
We out.
David McKnight, you don't have to know F the Rams today?
Well, of course I do. You know, it's always go Niners and F those Lambs. Even though I picked them to win this week. Still, F them.
And again, 49ers, stay faithful to one another. Stop this fighting again. You know, let's go into the game. Have fun. Not fun beating up people. You know, get along. Please stop acting like Raiders fans. I know you have most of y'all ain't gonna see this, but hey, I'd say the statement out there. Maybe somebody else share it with you. All right, here we go.